In typical Someguy827 fashion, I've managed to find a location to vlog around that is kind of creepy and weird. It's a Baptist church not far from where I live, but I think I'm going to vlog earlier in the night as opposed to right now in order to do this, simply because I'm sick and tired of people who own an unnecessarily large amount of animals and obviously can't put a leash on the goddamn things or a fucking muzzle on them. Before I get into this video that's about video responses being taken off of YouTube, and I mean the function, not videos themselves, I want to say something to all these pet owners who seem to own a pet simply because they want an alarm system. You are what's wrong with America. You're annoying. And your fucking 1,000 chattering dogs are annoying. If you people need to have a pet for a fucking alarm system, I suggest you buy one called ADT. It's really irritating to have to fucking listen to that all night every time somebody goes for a walk in my neighborhood. Because of this one guy that I live nearby, and that wasn't him, but that's a guy just like him, owns over 1,000 fucking dogs, and all they goddamn do is chatter all fucking night, and it's irritating as hell. As frustrating as a goddamn motherfucker can be, because every single time that somebody walks by his house, all you hear is exactly that. Fucking all night. It's fucking annoying. And it makes doing these videos difficult. I choose to do them at night, not to be a nuisance. I do them at night because it's easier for me to go for a walk at night. It's quiet, you know, I've told the story a million times. And it brings unnecessary attention. To me, that shit's infuriating. I thought that was an interesting location, and now I can't scope it out without looking like a fucking junkie trying to buy drugs behind a building. So yes, to all these pet owners, you're insecure. Stop it. Nobody gives a shit about your 1,000 mutts you barely feed. Alright, now getting on to the point. Since I've seemed to detract from it almost entirely. One of the things that I find frustrating about YouTube now is that they are getting rid of the video response feature. I find this to be really annoying and irritating, simply for the fact that video responses are what make up 95% of why people even use YouTube in the first fucking place. And I don't understand why they felt the need to remove this feature. Their reasoning was that it wasn't getting enough views per video response because nobody looks in the box, whatever. But I find that to be an incredibly stupid reasoning. You know, video responses are an essential part of this website, and it doesn't really matter if you think, Google, that these videos don't get very many views per video response uploaded to a video. You know, maybe 200-300, maybe 1,000 at most. That's irrelevant. Channels that people watch en masse will get shit tons of hits anyway, simply because they're watched en masse by their subscriber base. If I, or, you know, a few other people that I'm subscribed to, let's say that Coughlin, for example, wants to upload a video about the EDL in response to something that the EDL has put up, you know, he'll get a, shit ton of hits on the video simply because he's already got a big amount of subscribers. It's just being able to interlink that video as a response to another one. Diminishing that feature doesn't add or detract from the YouTube experience much, other than it just makes it more frustrating as fucking hell to use. It doesn't do anything other than make the website even more stripped down and kind of a shell of its former self than it already is. I mean, the problem with YouTube is that it's becoming GoogleTube. The whole point was to broadcast yourself. It was to be user-oriented. I think the worst thing that ever happened to it was it getting purchased by Google, frankly. First we got the crappy designs, the layouts that didn't even make any sense. Then you got an unintuitive homepage. I will say that the previous homepage, before its current form, was actually easy to use. Now I can't even friggin' locate my comment inbox. It's a fucking nightmare. Navigating that website is literally a fucking nightmare now. It's ridiculous. but more so, it's becoming less user-friendly and more Google-controlled. And when I watched Official GATG, I don't know if he addressed this. I didn't watch the video all the way through. Watching a bit of it inspired me to make this video. But it's simply to just give control to Google, take it away from the users. You know, eventually they're going to put some kind of clause in their user agreement, if it's not already in there, that states that we own your shit, that we have the right to just own your content no matter what. You're only a small climate. We have billions of dollars. What the fuck are you going to do? And I mean, really, I'm more than sure it's already in there, but nobody wants to read through all that fine print. Nobody wants to sit there for, you know, hours on end and scroll through all that nonsense. Let me take a sidetrack up here. Because in reality, I mean, all that shit is nonsense. It's just unnecessary red tape where there doesn't need to be any. Basically, Google is taking full hold over YouTube, and I mean, you love them, you hate them, whatever. Even Life in a Camp said this in his video. It's becoming the end of the ranting community. They don't want ranters anymore. They don't want community. This is the problem I see. I mean, yes, I can understand that the amount of heinous amounts of trolling and DMCA abuse really make YouTube look like a negative place. The thing is, a lot of these people develop kind of into entrepreneurs about their videos. You know, I've gained an interest in wanting to do film. I've gained an interest in wanting to do video simply from what I've done on YouTube. Not professional ranting or anything like that, but working with other people who have the same interests. People who want to do professional vlogs and stuff. You know, if it wasn't for my experiences here, I would have never had that interest. You're killing the idea of entrepreneurship by rigidly controlling what you do so that other people do not have an ability whatsoever to survive in your new founded environment. By choking off the ranting community, you are choking off people who aren't on the internet to simply be angry, trollish buttholes. They actually have something to say. They have something to contribute. They have... You know, they have, sorry, just checking the video space and the video time. They have something more than what is perceived as far as content, as far as talent and actual appropriation of their use of video, as it were. I think that by choking this off, you're really, really screwing yourself over. Because you're taking a detrimental amount of your entire user base and stating that eventually you don't have any right to be here. And what does that do for YouTube? That has everybody migrate somewhere else. Go somewhere else and start doing the whole vlogging community there. Eventually YouTube just wants to condense down into nothing more than cable TV for the internet. Really, that's all it wants to be. It wants to be the HBO of the internet, or the Showtime of the internet, where content creators, which I find to be the most offensive, literally offensive term I've ever heard. I mean, it just wants those people to be the only people on there. And the reason I find content creator offensive is because I'm not creating content for your fuck-all website. I'm creating it because I enjoy creating it. I find that, and most partners in general, I mean, you could ask people like Sear, whatever his name is, Shane Dawson, you can ask even these Smosh assholes, are you creating content specifically for YouTube? As shitty as Smosh is, they started out creating content because they liked it. We're not creating content to fill your website up with stuff to show people, you jerks. I'm not creating these rant videos to say, oh, look what I made you, now you're fucking indebted to me, give me some of the ad revenue. What kind of idiot would I be if I said that? What kind of idiot would I be if I followed that philosophy? That's ridiculous. You know, I'm in no contractual agreement with YouTube itself. If people picked me up for my partnership personally, and in my personal experience, was because they liked that I was passionate about what I do, and they liked the fact that I enjoy doing it. I find the term content creator to be insulting, because I'm not creating content for somebody else's product. I'm creating it because I like doing it. It's not for anybody but those who wish to share that experience. So I guess that it is a valid term to use, but in the way YouTube defines it, it's bullshit. But it wants eventually its content creators to be the only people on YouTube doing anything. You know, it doesn't want ranters. It doesn't even want partners that will interact with each other unless it's for, collaborations. It's fucking ridiculous that nobody's allowed to say anything about each other. I mean, there are stipulations and a lot of partnerships agreements on this website that if you knew about it, you'd just think they're so archaic and draconian. I mean, this is why when you hate on people like Odysee and you wonder why small ranters do it, big ones can't. They're not allowed to literally talk shit about each other. It scared the crap out of me. But they're not allowed to talk crap about each other. It's in their contracts. They could get terminated from their partnerships if they do. It's fucking busy, huh? And by that I mean really hot. Anyway, I'm running out of space on here. So let me see if I can clear some space off this card. And then I'll see if I can make a part 2 to this, okay? BRB.